What a chapter. Alright, let's just get into it. So, as we know, Noelle's Saint Valkyrie form is done. The time for it ran out. Magicula, she's already unleashed some powerful magic. Her decaying world spell. It's all around her, so things are looking really bad. Now Gaja, as we saw in the last chapter, he was fighting against Lolo, and he got a severe wound. And then, we see in the second page, right? He releases some form of message to Noelle. And we can tell it's a message because if you look at the panel, we see him release his magic, and then right above Noelle's head, it looks like she's receiving the message. Not to mention, while Noelle looks back at Gaja, looking very concerned, gives her a smile, and then we see like a little text bubble there, but it's vanishing, so whatever message he sent to her, it's unknown to all of us. So then, as you can see, Undyne is also feeling really sad about what's going on, because it seems like Gaja had some sort of plan in mind. So he goes up to Lolo, and he does the sweetest little thing. See, everyone was expecting Gaja to kill Lolo, right? But I knew from the start that wasn't the plan. Killing her would just help Magicula. He was always going to immobilize this. I said it on Twitter as well. It wasn't a plan to kill her. The plan was to make sure that she couldn't do anything, at least for the time being. But before we get to his plan of attack, we get a little flashback towards Gaja and Lolo back when she was cursed, and we see that Gaja, he feels like he has failed as a spirit guardian because he wasn't able to protect her from the curse. But Lolo says the more important thing was the citizens and civilians of the Heart Kingdom. They were saved and none of them died. So she's more grateful for that. But that still hurts Gaja because he wasn't able to protect her fully. So he still feels like he's failed. So now we see that to him the most important thing was to save her. To save her, that's more important than a kingdom. That's a lot of care and love he has for Lolo. So he says, I won't let them kill you. I won't let you kill. So what he does is, Gaja's an absolute Chad for this, by the way. He was already wounded. I thought he was, well, okay, last week I kind of thought he was done for. But at the same time, I still thought he had another attack he was possibly going to do to Lolo. Like I said, not to kill her, but to immobilize her. But what he did was simple to Lolo. After that, he just goes straight to Magicula. Alright, the matchup here is not in his favor whatsoever. Magicula is way beyond his league. Beyond his and Noelle's. The situation looks extremely bad for them. But he doesn't care, he just goes straight for her. And he releases his ultimate lightning magic, which he just learned. He releases everything he has to attack her. And by that, I really do mean everything. He says, I'll convert my very life into magic. So clearly, he used every ounce of magic he had within him into that one spell. And clearly, it looked like he did a lot of damage to Magicula. I mean, hell, you can even see her brain. Look at that. It's almost like she's disintegrating, right? So after he uses his ultimate lightning magic, which has a pretty cool name, by the way, Apocalypra Ostraza, we see that Noelle, she knows that Magicula is a few hits away from being completely destroyed. So she does her best to try to summon as much of her Saint Valkyrie form to land one more hit. But by the time she tries to do something, she notices that Gaja is, well, he looks like he's done for. Just look at him, he's heavily damaged. He doesn't even have his grimoire. I think this might be the end for him. He sacrificed himself to help Noelle get away and to make sure that Lolo would live. And now he may be dead. And it's such an honorable sacrifice too. Gaja came out with honestly a Chad move, going all out against Magicula. I can't fault him for any of this. If this is how he dies, to me at least, he's going out as a legend. And he has my utmost respect. He managed to save Noelle. He managed to save Lolo, at least for now. My only concern is Vanica, because looking at the blast again, it seems like he may have also hit Vanica, so she might be dead. Might be. I'm not saying that she is. It's really hard to tell. The next chapter, it's gonna be really hard to take it all in, right? Because it can go into many different ways. It could be that Gaja and Vanica are dead, which means Magicula will likely return. I mean, she's guaranteed to return. I don't think she's done for yet. But with Vanica gone, she'll only be even stronger. That means Lolo's the only one left alive. Another possibility is that Vanica is also still alive and just Gaja's dead. And, well, the final possibility is that no one's dead. But I don't know, right? When it comes to Gaja, just look at him. He doesn't even have his grimoire. It's nowhere to be found. And the way he looks here, it's almost like he's just being dusted away. And you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of when Lumiere was saying his goodbye to Sekirei at the end of the Elf arc. When, because there he was also vanishing, like dusting away. This is sort of the same vibe I'm getting from him. Though I would assume that Lumiere's situation is a little bit different, considering he was a statue for the longest. But that aside, it does look like he's dusting away. No grimoire, and he used all of his life force in that one attack. It doesn't seem likely to me that he'll survive. And I know there's a lot of people that are skeptical about his death. And I can see both sides. Let's look at the first thing, right? The leaked chapter, when it released on Wednesday night, I believe the name of the chapter, at least in the leaks, was called The Death of a Disciple. But here the title it's different, right? Because the title here, it's called The Sound of the End. And to me, that's just, that implies that, you know, Gaja releases one huge sound, which is his final attack, and that leads to his end. He'll die. But I know there are many banking on the idea that the title is meant to be misleading, but I don't think that's going to be the case at all. And I know there's some others, you know, they're wondering about Mimosa, right? Because she's clearly learned ultimate healing magic. And I'm a bit skeptical on that as well, because I mean, like, don't get me wrong, right? Mimosa, I think she's a great healer, and I'm sure she's become even more powerful thanks to learning ultimate magic. But the thing about Gaja, he converted his very life into magic. I'm not sure if that's something ultimate magic can heal. It seems like everything Gaja did in this moment is irreversible. He converted his very essence into magic. It kind of reminds me of, well, I guess Vegeta when he fought against Majin Buu. He used every bit of energy he used into that one attack, and by the end of it, that cost him his life. That's sort of the vibe I'm getting here with Gaja. I just feel like this truly led to his death. But I mean, who knows? I could be wrong. Something could happen in the next chapter. But this is another thing I've also noticed. A lot of the predictions people have been making regarding the last few chapters, they haven't been coming true at all. Tabata's been catching everybody off guard. And another thing too is next week we reach 300 chapters of Black Clover. So the 300th chapter is gonna be a big one. And I don't know. I feel like next week we're in for quite a bit of despair. At least that's what I feel like. I'm struggling to figure out what's gonna happen next, because anything can go down. it could be that Gaja and Vanek are dead, and Majicula gets more powerful. The Heart Kingdom gang could show up. Anybody could show up. It could just show Noelle escaping, right? She manages to get away, and she reunites with the Heart Kingdom rather than the Heart Kingdom gang reuniting with her. Because that way she'd be able to escape. I mean, remember, Majicula said even if somebody were to enter, they're also kind of screwed over. Especially if Gaja managed to kill Vanica. It makes the situation even worse. So I think the possibility of Noelle escaping and leaving and reuniting with the rest of the Heart Kingdom gang would probably be a smarter move. But it's difficult, right? I think Tabata's been doing an amazing job catching everyone off guard with these recent chapters, and I think that's not going to stop anytime soon. There are many different possibilities of how this can go. But as far as Gaja is concerned, I know I've said it a lot, but just look at him. No grimoire. He's completely... Well, it looks like he's burnt up, and he's dusting away. And the expression that Noelle has, it seems like she arrived too late. I truly do believe this might be the end for Gaja. And I think another worthy thing to note is the little shadowy figure we see after Gaja has done his blast. To me, it looks like Majicula is reforming. So it may be that Gaja did all this for nothing. I mean, I suppose in the end we saw this coming. But it hurts even more. But I think at least he was able to protect Lolo for the time being. And to me, that's honorable. Like, this whole chapter, Gaja was just an absolute Chad. He has gained my utmost respect as a character. Live or die, after this, he's become one of my favorites. I love everything he did. And it hurts even more to see that this is how he may go out. But yeah, so far that's all I have to say about the chapter. It's 11 pages, which is a bit unfortunate. It makes me wonder if Tabata and the staff are doing well, if they're still struggling. I imagine things aren't really easy for him. But I'll never mind. At least we have a chapter. We got some pages. The art, as usual, is just phenomenal. I love it, especially at the end here, how Gaja looks. The way that he's just vanishing away. It's very detailed. I love it. It actually kind of reminds me of some of the art in Hunter x Hunter. It's really nice. I love the art here. It's really cool. I always love like detailed looks characters would have right when they're like really injured or and dying. I think the way that Tabata did it here with Gaja was just perfect. I love it a lot. But yeah, I'm concerned, but of course I'm always grateful that we've got a chapter. And like I said earlier, next week 300 chapters. We have reached we're gonna reach 300 chapters of Black Clover. That is such an amazing achievement, especially when you think about everything that's been going against the series. But there's a lot more to that I'm gonna save for when the 300th chapter actually releases next week. But until then, I'm really excited for the next chapter. And here's looking forward to how everything goes, because things can go from looking like there's hope to things looking even more grim than things have ever gotten before. So yeah, here's looking forward to the next chapter, and here's celebrating 300 chapters of Black Clover.